Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which, it can be, the lens of a, window pane with some rain on it, or a hurricane, or an earthquake and a hurricane at the same time. My name is Chris. I live in California. But anyway, at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet and somewhat dry. Hi.
Hi.
Wow, what are we talking about?
Love During Lockup, season 4, episode 46. 56? It should be 50. We're in the 50s, I think.
You know what?
Spies and Lies, guys. Spies and Lies. So even if 46 is wrong, which I think it is, Spies and Lies is the name of the episode. Hi.
Hi. I put 46. I think it's because of what my DVR said, but it could be wrong and who knows. So I literally was like, I guess this is it. But we're gonna start with Renika and Asante. And what an episode. So now I'm gonna tell you, I call a bluff on the whole thing.
A huge bluff.
Like nothing is real. If you want me to think that, and I love Renika, and Nika is what her friend calls her now. I'm gonna call her Nika. If you want me to think that Nika's hair is real, the green hair, then that's like how much you want me to jump over all of the bullshit to believe that any of this is real. And so it's like, if you want me to make that leap, then that's what you're asking me to do. And you're looking me right in the eye and asking me to make it. And I'm telling you right now,
Yeah. We start off this segment where the friend is like, look, who are these itches in his DMs?
Good job. Wa just censored herself in her own way, almost like a beatboxer would. Like, who are these itches? Like she edited it out. I know she almost was like, who are these bitches? But like, I don't know why. The way I did it, almost like I threw up in the middle of it. It would have been like, who are these bitches? But it's like very hard for me to do. But yeah, the woman I like, or Nika's friend, is just like out for blood. I get it, because obviously we pick up on the fact that they were going through, Asanta's Instagram for some reason for the first time ever, I guess. I'm not quite sure. And then had seen that like all these girls were like leaving him hearts and full phone numbers as comments on his public Instagram. And so they were like, who's this person? He's like, I don't know. And he's like, I don't know who these people are. And they're like, what? Well, they're leaving you their full phone numbers.
Yeah. The friend is like, that's not true. And he's like, who is that bitch? And at first I would have been like, first of all, you don't even know my friend. So don't call her a B. Number one. Number two, she's like, and I'll say this for the both of us, Chris, because you can't say it. Nigga. When he's spewing his lies, which is exactly what he's doing, because he's like, I don't even know about why are you even, I'm the honest, I don't even know why this would even be happening, because I'm only here for, you see what I'm saying, for you only. You see what I'm saying, boo? Like, he's just doing all the things. And so she's asking him, like, what's going on? And he's like, well, actually, what happened was, and she's like, so you're telling me that you're not getting out tomorrow? And he's like, man, what I'm saying is that due to the fact that I got a felony while in the prison system, because you know what I'm saying, you gotta yada, 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 rah, rah, rah. And then she's like, so you're not coming out? And he's like, no, I'm going to another facility. And she's like, man, I'm with my family, my kids, my family, and all my kids up here. And you ain't even blah, 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 blah. And so he's like, man, shut up. And then that ends that. And then Chris, the next time is her like, hello, judge.
I love this scene. I loved this scene so much. It was so funny for a bunch of reasons. Like, at first I was like, wait. I know she's calling the judge, like the judge that's involved in this man's thing, but like the way that she says judge almost makes me feel like judge is in fact the nickname of a friend of hers, like, I'm gonna call him judge, like he's gonna fix it, like, and also the judge's voice was, very casual. Like Nika then proceeds to have very pleasant, very overly polite Southern law conversations in a row with a judge and a sheriff. And the conversations are filled with, thank you so much for your time, sir. And lots of, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And just of like, it just is like, it's remarkable. I mean, remarkable only in a sense of like how pleasant any of these conversations are, in the sense of all of us. Like, could you imagine like like if someone told me I had to call the court, I'd be like, I have probably called a TMV or court before. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, are you going to get a direct line? Is there going to be a switchboard? Is she going to push a button? Like, I don't get it. Like, I would absolutely be like, here's my fucking phone. Here's 10 minutes on the line, honey. I'm waiting. They're never going to pick up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, everyone is lovely. And everyone's like, oh yeah, well, this is what you have to do. So basically what he had to do is, as kind of Was said, he had issues in a different camp, which he doesn't really want to say at first. And the whole time I'm like, oh, did he get caught? Like, sexual favors with a man in prison? Like, I thought 100% that that's what it was. Okay. And he says it's conspiracy to commit a felony, which could be anything.
The sky's the limit. It could be a myriad of different things. But the way he's like, so what had happened is I got a charge with conspiracy to commit a felony. And it's like, well, that's in line. That tracks. You know what I mean? Like, you would be in a conspiracy to commit a felony. You would be planning a heist. You would be planning some kind of melandry. I just made that up.
Yeah, it was great though. So yeah, it's 3,000 to get him out. And in this moment, when he first, like, we think that he's going to ask Nika for it immediately. Like, I think that he's going to ask for it immediately. I think he's be like, well, all we need, if you want to see this pretty face, and it's pretty, is to give me $3,000. But then she's like, well, how are you going to get it? And he's like, my mom, or whatever. And at first I'm like, maybe he has to say that to butter up, but I still think he's going to ask her for it or whatever. And, like, after the series of nice conversations, she finally, in a conversation with him, says, yeah, with your ugly ass self, I'm so tired of you. Why? And I was like, but are you? But can you be? But actually, please, though, because it's like, what? There's her, and I can't even with Letitia. Like, for some reason, putting these men on pedestals, honey, we collectively as a society, and I know that there's different things afoot, but we pretty much have taken these people not from society, and the opposite of what you're doing, my loves, taking them not from a pedestal and then just like kind of putting them in a place for them to think about maybe why they're not on a pedestal. And for some reason, you babes in your pick me desperateness are like, these are kings.
Yep. Listen, my husband got respect from the streets, from the courts, from his mama and his daddy. So who am I to not fall in the line and give him respect?
Well, what did you do when you did? What did you do when you did that? Did you pause? Did you look in the mirror? Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I paused it and I was like, oh, I have to write this down because this was a dumbass thing to say. Mm-hmm. This was a crazy thing to say. Oh, anyways, you guys, just so you know, we're no longer talking about Renika. We've moved on to Letitia and Keith.
Why did that make me laugh? I don't know. But we do get the fact that one thing is, I think that at one point when I want to say this one point when Nika's on the phone with various people talking about Asante, she calls him La Citrus or something like that too. And so I didn't know. I just couldn't.
Yeah, that man's name is La Citrus Asante Jontavia Linguistics the Third. Like, it is like a series of names. And then at the end of it, the third.
Okay, so yeah, but now we go to Letitia, and so sorry. So I want to also say this. Well, we never talked about this, and I don't know why I didn't, but I'm just going to say it. And I'm sure people have said it. And if you don't agree with me, I'm going to be mad.
Oh.
Only because I don't want to be. I don't know. I want you to.
You're prefacing this a lot. Just say what it is.
Okay. Letitia looks like Tamar Braxton. Yes or no?
Yeah. Okay. She looks like she could, not necessarily Tamar, but she looks like she could be a Braxton. It's the cheekbones.
Yeah. The eyes a little bit too, and the lips. It's like, or whatever. The face. It's like there's a. And obviously, I think Tamar mostly because also like
Tamar.
Okay, Tamar. I'm so sorry. Tamar, she hates me. Tamar, look, not my favorite Braxton, but I know that she's an icon, and for sure, I get it. Yes. I get it. So I know I'm just like, I get it. I don't know. It's a non-black person. I never really got her.
I've never watched not 1 second of the show, nor do I really know anything about the Braxtons except for they are an institution.
It's like, I think
Are
that
they WeTV?
yeah, but not anymore. There's a whole situation with her and WeTV. I think they had a whole falling out. Yeah, as a non-black person, Tony, obviously huge. Like, it's just like I came on and be
Who?
like,
Just kidding.
Tony?
Tony
I was
Braxton.
gonna
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
we were
yeah.
like, no, even if like
I've
if they
just
were like
never heard anyone
Tony.
just I've never heard her just called Tony.
Well, I'm
Like
talking
Tamar,
already.
like we all know who that is, but like Tony, I'm like Tony, like Tony Soprano. Oh, you mean Tony Braxton? That's what happened. So go ahead.
Wait, in your mind, if we're talking about the Braxtons, I can just say Tamar, but then if I say Tony, I have to say Tony Braxton.
Just it happened for me for just like a second. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay.
me.
Well, my whole point is that Tony Braxton is a whole famous person, and I just didn't realize that Tamar was so famous enough that that I feel like almost like she wants to pretend that I think the Braxtons were like the Jackson 5, like had as much success as the Jackson 5, and then she came out on her own, which I didn't realize that at all as a non-black person. And then moving on, this is what I say. She looks like her, and yes, as we also said, it is crazy cringy what she says about Keith. She's driving, and we see her going to visit him, and then obviously we're going to see her after. We don't see the cameras before, but her going to visit him is like she is anticipating, like, I can only imagine what that mouth do. And later on, after the visit, she's talking about what the mouth does, which is mostly eating chips, Cheetos, and it was enough for her,
Spaghetti. She wants to feed that mouth spaghetti. She tells us in a weird, like, little vignette that she is excited she's a feeder and she wants to feed her husband food. And that gets her off. She thinks it's really, really sexy. So she has on a whole outfit, you know what I mean? It's like a full pink floral situation that she's wearing and like a heel. A heel.
Is it a flow? It's not floral. It's like this pink duster flower. It's like this feathery duster thing, right? It's not feather, but it's like, you know what it looks like? You know how when you get a Swiffer duster and you like, it can do all of the like blinds, but you have to angle it right. And it has that kind of like fabric. It's that pink. What? Wah?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is like a duster is a type of coat as well as something you can clean blinds with. So you like
Yes.
named it perfectly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So she is annoyed. I mean, because it's an annoying process. Just like I've told you guys last episode, is that when you go see somebody in prison, they treat you like you are an inmate as well. It's really annoying. So she's home and she's annoyed. She gets back to the hotel and she is annoyed. But then she gets on the phone with one of her friends who was like, girl, let me tell you. Let me tell you. And she's like, what you got to say on this television show, sis? And
her friend's like, I got something to say, but you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm gonna be mad. But then before then, did she actually? I want you to tell the story, but I thought it was nice that she was like, well, how was your night? And the girl's about to launch into her drama, but then she has to be like, well, I had fun. But anyway, so anyway, then what did she say? What?
Yeah, she was like, you know how I am friends with your husband's baby mama?
No, I didn't. She did not know that, by the way. Or either she did or she forgot it. But I'll tell you right now, she wasn't happy to hear it.
She was like, what happened? She's like, well, word on the streets is what I had heard while I was in the club in the bathroom. They said that she want to see the birth certificate. She don't believe that. I mean, the marriage certificate. She don't believe that y'all is really married. And old girl is like, well, we did do a proxy marriage, but I don't think that's anybody's business. I'm gonna tell my man. I'm gonna tell specifically, not even my man. I'm gonna tell my husband to get his baby mama in line.
Yeah, he has three. Okay, but he has 3 kids, 3 baby mamas, and we don't know which one it is. And there's also a moment where this friend also kind of says that the baby mama is scheming against her in some way, like whether she's going to use the fact that the marriage isn't legal to scheme her way out of whatever. But like again, this is annoying to me on a bunch of levels because it feeds this like other narrative again beside her that he is this prize that can be taken away from her at all times because he is so wanted and needed by so many hungry people that what she is nothing but lucky, and she should be eternally grateful and give up everything, her accounting firm, all of her money, is definitely not side of prenup because everyone respects this man and she is nothing without him, nothing without her husband. Absolutely. The world respects her husband. She only gets respected if she has the husband. And so whatever it takes to keep said husband, including a fake marriage and that she had to do all the paperwork for, that's what it is. Like, it's, in fact, of course, cringy, and it makes me really upset. It's not as cringy as Savannah for some reason, but it's like, which only shows you how cringy Savannah is, but it makes me upset.
It really does. And she's playing into it too, because again, she's weaponizing her husband. Like she's weaponizing her marriage to us. And so I feel like people, including the baby mamas, are only so happy to tear it down. Also, apparently, he has 3 kids with 3 women. So, like, which baby mama was it? Or was it 3 kids with 1 woman? And then, and if that's the case, that one woman has the authority to feel the way she feels. If I had 3 kids with 1 man and then he goes into prison for 10 years and then marries some other bitch, I'd be like, oh, I'm not only am I getting you for child support because now that you're married, Letitia's business money, oh, that's my money.
Oh, but no, he doesn't have 3 kids with 1 wife.
Oh, I see baby mama 3 kids with 3 wife, and 1 doesn't believe it's real.
Yeah, he has 3 kids and 3 baby mamas.
So, like, which one is the one who doesn't think it's real?
Right.
And why did she feel like she has authority, especially because it's 3 of them, as opposed to it just being one baby mama and 3 kids, and I could see that person having,
it has to be his last one or his first one. You can't be the middle one.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's only from and that's only what I know about from Sister Wives. But by the way, in an alternate universe premieres the new season tonight. I'm so excited. Anyway, like from my knowledge of like women dynamics and any sort of, and I would be fascinated by reading any of this. This is why Sister Wives is fascinating, or like, like wife, mistress, side piece, like any sort of like
more than having a woman.
Yeah, and this is only because I grew up in a patriarchal society that like pitted women against each other, so I understand this. But because women had to fight and survive, it's why I find the stories fascinating. Anyway, well,
yeah, that's true. Okay. That's all I have to say about them.
Oh yeah, we can move on. Jade and Chris. Oh my God. Well, I don't have a lot to say about Jade and Chris except, do I have a picture of them? I had a picture, I thought, of her and her sister in the car because I didn't realize how much taller she is than her sister. Like when they're in the car together, it someone on fucking Twitter said it reminded them of Derek and Monique.
Oh, I didn't see what the height difference is, but wow,
I think it's so. Now it also makes me feel like, okay, now I think they did. Now that I'm seeing this, we know that the sisters are obviously not as so far on the spectrum as Derek and Monique were. And so now I feel like that camera must be on the driver's side, giving the driver not the greatest angle, which makes me feel like they did Monique really horribly dirty last season. That's what I wanted to say about that.
Oh, I don't think I actually watched this segment.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. So then basically, okay, remember this part where you wrote this part of in
the the only thing I remember them saying is that everybody is suspect about the money that she is spending, but he says that he put, I guess, his share of it into stocks, and so whatever dividends are coming from that stock or 12th, this is all a lie. This is all a full blown lie. And then he's like, also everything is in my name, and she gets offended as though like his making that point isn't poignant enough. Like she's like, well, your point, while it makes sense to show that I'm not using you, does make me go, oh, nothing is in my name, so I have no claim to it. But the truth is, she does. She's married to him.
It depends. It depends on so many things, Walt, because of the trusts we might not know of set up to protect Native Americans. We have no idea what we just don't have no idea. I'm going to say this. I have no idea. But I will say this. Jade's dumb. Jade's the dumbest because Jade is just a very basic, and I mean this, not attractive woman who has done a lot to make herself attractive and finally found someone that feeds in a certain amount of insecurity that she now tries to pretend that she's living some lifestyle on Instagram that is like mediocre and middle class in every way. You know, mediocre and middle class. If you make $10,000 a month is
Not middle class. Don't stop what you're saying because I do not make
okay.
$10,000 a month. So if I make, so I'm just, I don't
Okay.
make $10,000 a
All
month.
right. All right. I'm not going to say anything, but just the point of the story is it's a lot to I'm going to say I don't like when people show off anyway. I don't like when people like brag anyway, but I just don't think that she has a lifestyle to brag about anyway. She's so dumb that everything that she gets like in her daily life is minuscule and then like has no bearing. She has no stock. She has no investments. Like nothing is in her name. So like she has no kids by him, but she keeps wanting to like either parlay this into a social media lifestyle as well as hide behind the fact that she's some sort of saint for like sacrificing whatever her life or being with a prison inmate she doesn't ever have to fuck or have any sort of meaningful conversation with, and she just gets a deposit in her savings account. But yeah, basically she is complaining to him because his family doesn't want her to show off his finances on social media. And then he defends her choices by being like, well, the money that you're showing off is what I've made. And I definitely have made it through the own skills I've fostered by investments, not the fact that I get the money from the thing, different investments. And she's like, yeah, babe. Yeah, you tell him. And you're right. It's so right that then he's like, yeah. And they don't even know that like everything is in my name anyway. So like, you can't be a gold digger. And she's like, yeah, oh. I'll LOL for it, and it's like, but babe, maybe you should put things in my name. Like maybe I don't have anything, and it's just like, oh, listen, if this works, and if this works, and this is what it is, then like, I don't know what to tell you. People are dumb, and dumb people create babies, and then more dumb people create this choices in the world, and we all live in the world now.
Yeah, we do live in this world, but in order to make sure that this world is good to us and gives us money, we should go to a commercial. Okay, and so we're back from said commercial, and let's move on to Brittany and Andy.
Yeah, do you not like Andy's name?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
This whole time, I had no idea what his name is.
What do you thought his name was?
We are 6 episodes in, and I don't know. Just the man that's with Brittany, whose name is spelled like French.
Oh yeah, French Brittany and Andy. This is like so uncomfortable. Another one of the episodes where we're gonna see the before and after a prison visit, and it must have been like yeah, this whole actual episode is the visits happen. And it's just so interesting how little they can actually film of it. But basically, we realize for some reason, again, he has to go with her daughter Gracie. We didn't know how old Gracie was, but we get some information. A, Gracie's 18. B, she hasn't seen her mom in a long time. C, she's had a lot of trauma and like there's some stuff there. D, why are they going together? Why is this a 2-in-1 visit? It seems like it should be a 1-in-1 visit. It seems like it should be, I don't know. Does Brittany get 1 visit a year? I don't understand. Why are you both going at the same time? It seems like these are 2 completely different things. But okay, God bless. So then he has to wait for Gracie, and I don't know if she's late, but he keeps calling her. Then she shows up. She's really beautiful. What a beautiful young girl that like looks like she's kind of like, God bless been through or whatever. And he starts talking he starts talking like he's like on a date with her, and he starts saying banana things. Let's get in the car. Okay, well, let's put this pony to the wind. She's like, oh my God. I felt so bad for Gracie in that moment. I was like, Gracie, like Gracie's like whole TikTok, like she's just like, Gracie's finger is so hard on her scroll feed as she tries to distract herself by going into TikTok while this man talks to her in this car ride. My heart's for you, Gracie, for sure.
Yeah, it was worse. It was bad going, but then it was worse coming back.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't know what happened. I went to the bathroom and I came back and the energy was different. And then she just ignored me the whole time going home. And he's like, whoa, how did you know it was me? I kind of look like a cop, huh? And I was like, oh, no, you look like a truck driver.
Yeah.
Do you
notice something else? Okay. Did he lose his cop job because he ran off with an inmate?
No, I think we've been speculating this whole time why he left his job. And I think the thing that we landed on was that because he couldn't keep up. I don't know.
I I thought he said something to that end where he was like, ended up losing my job because I ran away with an addict or something like that.
Oh, I never heard that at all. I didn't know that. I don't know.
I just can't. It's so interesting that he keeps talking about being a police and he keeps talking about addicts behavior, what his wife did, how his wife made bad choices, how his wife, ended up losing the kids because she, shacked up with a known addict. And I want to be like, oh, like you keep doing?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
like you keep doing? How interesting. And what is in the water where you're drinking it? I mean, is it everyone? I mean, I don't know. It's such a interesting thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I hate this whole thing. Basically, yeah, Gracie gets a phone call from her mom on the way back where Brittany's like, "Are you comfortable?" She's like, "No, why would I? No, I want to get the fuck out of this car. I would be anywhere from here. I want to be
Yeah.
anywhere else, and I can't wait to be."
She's like, I don't know him, like surreptitiously. No, I'm not comfortable. And he's just there listening.
Yeah.
So awkward. Are you ready to move on?
Yes.
To Britney, the other, spelled like Britney Spears, who recently announced that she's getting a divorce. I mean, here's the truth. Like, I love Britney Spears. I just want her to pull up her pants. It's like those women who you can tell who are stuck in the 80s because of the way they use their eyeliner. I can tell that Britney is stuck in the early aughts because of her low rise bikini shorts. I just want them to be pulled up. They look saggy. Anyways.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then it's so interesting because it's like I wonder where I am stuck.
Yeah, I wonder the same thing too. I always think about it. And the truth is that I am stuck on like 90s R&B. Like I can't listen to Summer Walker. I can't listen to SZA. I can't listen to all those people who are like, I'm R&B now. Like the closest I can get to is Jadena and Thames. Like I gear towards more like Afro beats more so than American R&B right now. Like it's not for me. But I'm down for like American women rappers in a way that I've never been down for them before. Like I was never a Trina fan, but I'm a Cardi fan. So it's like I became an adult at some point and was like, yeah, you can say the PUSSY word and I won't care. Anyways, her and Karak.
Yeah, I don't like this. No one does, right? Like this is so basically what we first open up is that Karak's friend and is this person, and I don't know this person, okay, is roaming the streets in a Benz, stalking Brittany, who's also in a Benz, throughout the streets, and she shows up late to her like hair appointment school, and that girl and the woman who wants no part of her. Wants no
Yeah.
part of it again.
Yeah. The teacher is like, you can't be late. There's other people who've been out of prison, like no excuses. And this is fake. This is fake.
Right, because why would she be on it? Like the teacher would have to have signed everything, right?
Yeah. Everyone's acting. She's like, can I talk to you afterwards? As she's like parting the dummy's hair. And she's like, I'm gonna be real, okay? Like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, but you're right. Like, I'm gonna be on time every single time. And then like there's a scene where she comes out and she sees that Karak's friend is like stalking her and she's like, what are you doing? And Karak's friend is like, I'm just looking out for my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really love Karak. So this is a whole fake situation where the friend has nothing but time, no job, nothing to just follow Brittany's ass around like a private investigator. So yeah, that was fake.
Yeah, I mostly was just like, how does everyone have a Benz? And then I'm so happy for you all, God bless. But it's just so interesting. I only ask was like, is there like is one of their friends like a Benz dealer? You know what I'm saying? Just because like
No,
like
I think after a couple of years, anyone can get one.
I mean, they kept showing the brand too. So I kept just being like, oh, like I kept seeing the emblem. I'm like, and so there are like parts I'm like, I was like, are they paying for these? Anyway, let's move on to my favorite. Okay.
Yes.
And my favorite, I mean, I hate her. And I hate her again for the reason that I told Wall before, which is that I secretly think that I might be her in some like horrible parallel universe part of me, which is like, this is the thing. Savannah, she is a I think can change the world. There's a lot of gumption there, but what we have to deal with is like an extreme amount of emotional immaturity in conjunction with no awareness at all. And so that part almost borderlines a delusionalness that makes me fearful that I could tinge that way. Okay, that's what it is. Well, and I said this before and I said it again because that's how hard I feel it. When I see her on screen and I see the choices, I see like her voice and everything that she says, I'm just like, oh my God, what if I'm this?
Yeah. I've heard you say that before. And yeah, there is a certain amount of delusion, but I don't know that you are like, maybe you would be this way if you had a boy that you really liked. What if you really liked a male and like you had access to kind of just run circles around him? Would you? Yes.
I just like so much of it. It's like, so we see her waking up at like some 3-star hotel that like gives you like a continental breakfast in the morning, and she's up and at 'em, honey, to like put those feet in like some sort of like flip flop and get herself to like some cafe to meet Tim, which is Jake's friend that they grew up together, and Tim looks like, he's somewhat happy to be there. And at first he's like, this girl seems like cheery, but then she's like, hi, Tim. I know I'm really anxious right now, but like, it's okay. It's like, I'm happy to see you. Thank you for meeting me. Anyway, so no drinks necessary. Let me get right to the point. Who was the ringleader of your little like hooligan troop? And like when you were like, in the gateway drugs, she starts saying things to Tim as if like, my dad was going to interview someone who was like in a gang right now. We're like, I love my dad so much. My dad grew up in the streets of like Toluca Lake. So like my dad having to say anything relevant or that would like impact, or like if my dad tried to be like, relate to a young person, it'd be like as awkward as this guy's like, what do you want me to say? And then she's like, well, here's the thing. I know that when you both started making bad choices in life down the path of dismay and disruption, and how both of you, like, what does she want him to say? Like, oh, we started being bad at 13, started smoking cigarettes outside of gym class, me and Jake. Jake wasn't the ringleader, it was me. I used to steal the cigarettes, and Jake be like, no, Tim, don't make me smoke them, but I made him smoke them, Savannah. And then later on, Savannah, let me tell you, Jake didn't want to do anything, but I made Jake go to a strip club when Jake was only 14. Jake put his face in a pussy, and I said, Jake, smell it. And then he didn't want to. That's how great Jake was, but I made him do it. But then after that, it's been prison ever since. It was me. I'm the ringleader. Like, that's what I almost, and like Savannah's going to be like, oh, well, will you tell that all to the judge and get in the governor so that he can release him from prison? And then Tim would be like, yep, I will. Like, is that what was, every part of this was like unfucking believable for me.
Well, I mean, we've had supplementary characters who have said, no, he was a good guy. We got into a little trouble together. Remember, who was it? Was it Nathan's friends who were like, no, not Nathan, Matt from Bird Bones, whatever her name was, redhead. And the friend Matt was like, yeah, we used to hang out, we did football and shit, we got into a lot of trouble when we were little, but nothing too big. But then all of a sudden, Matt got into his like tweaker head trap shit, so then like we went separate ways. So there has been someone who said that. But Tim is such a little itch. Like, the fact that he goes outside and tells producer like, yeah, I don't think I can do this, yeah, I'm okay. So then he like walks away. And we're not quite sure what it is that he can and can't do. Or is it just he realizes that he just doesn't want to be on TV, doesn't want to talk to this woman, and like this isn't his thing. So he's like, yeah, like I thought I could because you guys offered me 1,500, but like not even 1,500. Y'all offered me like 250 to do this. And I needed it for like to buy some water and crack. But now like I don't want to do it. So can I keep the 250? Like that's the part that the producers cut out. Can I keep the money you gave me? Because I don't want to do this anymore.
I thought you were going to say, to buy some watery crack. I thought you were gonna say watery crack, which was I thought was also
What?
ridiculous. Yeah, I think that he sat down, was like, "Oh, this girl wants to talk about my friend. I haven't seen him in a long time," but she sits down and gives him interrogation with horrible energy and crazy eyes, and he's like, "Oh, get me the fuck out!" Like, and I think that he's just like not into it. You know, like it's not a fun conversation. He doesn't want to be grilled. He gets nothing from it. Like, you know, I want to be like Savannah. Think about how you're coming off. Like, someone is experiencing you. Someone is sitting on the other side of you, hearing everything that you are yelling at this person, and they just met you. They don't know you, and that's that person's life. So no, this person's not going to be like, let's get into the nitty gritty about my whole bad choices. You know, like, no, bitch, I don't understand. You know, like, what is it? You know, like, this is a delusional part of me, and this is again the part of me that I'm scared of him. I'm like, do I not know how I come off ever? It's so crazy. But anyway, yeah, he is so LOL. He just goes outside. He's like, I'm going to the bathroom and I'm going to have a cigarette. And I love that already, because when he said those two things, I'm like, he's never coming back. Like, there's no that was like over explaining to get the fuck out, because it was like, I can't even tell you I'm going to go to the bathroom because I want you to also see me not come back to the table and walk out the door and not run after me, because I think you might run after me. I think you're crazy. I want you to think I'm smoking a cigarette so I can get the fuck out.
But it's also like he also just had to go to the bathroom. And so because he had like already gone into this establishment, he's like, I'm gonna pee here and then I'm gonna pretend to go smoke, but then I'm gonna really leave. Like, to me, I wouldn't stop to the bathroom unless like it was an emergency. I would just leave.
I know it.
Yeah, so it's so funny. So funny. This was a decent episode, I would think. I think every couple gave us a little bit of something to be awkward about or laugh at.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, I will say not a lot of forward movement on the episode that is them meeting the inmates, because you don't really get to see anything about it. So all you get is kind of like the before and weird after. I almost wanted them to do maybe some like more interesting segment chop ups or like some more graphics, because it did feel a little like boring or
Mhm.
whatever. But anyway, having said that, we will see. We will see. That's all.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to join our Patreon, to support your girls and what we're doing, it's $10 a month for Patreon. You get exclusive content such as a live every first Monday of the month, as well as you get the episode 24 hours before anybody else, and the visual episode before 21 else, anyone else as well. But if you cannot do that, Chris will tell you how you can do other ways to support
Yeah.
us.
Go into your social medias, type in at Instagram. Oh, sorry, Instagram, and type in at DocuSweeties, and then at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. We also have the DocuSweeties Patreon group. Sorry, the DocuSweeties podcast group, and of course, we have a Patreon group as well, as I already said. And we love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening wherever you are. We hope you're safe and happy and healthy, and have a beautiful rest of your summer.
All right. We will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.